Alright guys, unfortunately when I recorded this video I went over the 15 minutes of video footage that you're allowed, and it cut off quite a bit of the beginning of the video, which is unfortunate because I talked about adapting and how to adapt, which basically on my PvP healer, well, first of all, it's Illinois Valley. Welcome to another Hall of Heroes exclusive. Anyway, I talked about adapting and how I run with multiple sets, and for the most part I run two-hand, sword and board and resto, but I also talked about running ice staff and fire staff. Ice staff for the unstable wall because you can freeze people in place, and then apply chill by hitting them with your light attacks. Infernal staff for the extra damage. So sorry about that, and here's the rest of the video. Right about now. Sustain this absolute OP as shit. Not gonna change it. This is why I have a Warden healer instead of a Templar. It's just so much goodness. And then with this new patch, I haven't had to change much because the Breton with Seducer is absolute sustain for days. It is just incredible how well the Breton's passives line up with Seducer to just give you sustain for days. What I did change is instead of Earthgore, I am running Troll King. This one's reinforced. This one's in pen. This one's in pen because I transmuted it. This one will be in pen once I transmute it, and then I'll be over 3k crit resist, so keep that in mind when we go over my stats. I just don't have the transmute crystals. I do now that I've been playing a little more PvP. I just need to stop being lazy and get it transmuted. But this one will be in pen as well, so just ignore the fact that it's reinforced right now. It's whatever. But Troll King, 2% healing done, and then when you heal a friendly target, if they are still below 50% health, their health recovery is increased by 1,400, let's just say 1,500 for 10 seconds. Makes a huge difference, guys. It's pretty badass. Let me tell you, it saves my ass quite a bit when I'm the one getting hit with that recovery. So there you go. Troll King, Seducer, and then of course we got the Necro on the jewelry. This one's spell damage because when I was running trials, I was running like gripping shards and unstable wall, just like we were talking with the staffs. So it's good just to add a little extra spell damage. That way when you pop your AP pots, it gets a little more spell damage, depending on the situation. Not a bad idea. Plus, with the Seducer Breton combination, your magicka recovery is going to be just fine. I promise you that. Don't even worry about it. So there you go. Necro, Seducer, all heavy, and then Troll King, which is also heavy. So I am running all heavy. I am trying to be about as tanky as you could possibly be as a healer, because I am low CP and I am a healer, and that makes me the biggest target on the field. And I know this. I'm not new to this. I know that I'm going to be a target. I've come in this patch just completely tanky, and I'm not giving away too much when I do this. I'm not, my sustain is a-okay. I am not hurting whatsoever. So alright, let's go over just the current skills I'm using right now. As is, again, they change, and we'll go over some of the other skills that you could possibly use when we get into that. Inner Light for the Major Prophecy. Blue Betty because it's OP as shit. If you call that Betty, she restores 5,300 magicka to you for 27 seconds and grants major sorcery. And yes, there's major sorcery again, but I mean sometimes you don't have that Betty popped and you want that major sorcery still. Inner Light's going to be there to back you up. And that's of course going to increase your spell damage by 20%. When the Netch is summoned, it removes one negative effect from you. And a lot of people forget that that's down there. Not me. I love Blue Betty. I see that defile, I'm popping that Betty. And the thing is Betty costs zero magicka, 0 stamina. It costs 0. This is a free remove one negative effect from you. Absolutely costs you nothing. This is a free magicka res recovery, basically. I mean, just this is free, like with necro potence. This is like a free extra 3k magicka. I mean, this thing is ridiculously OP. Like, holy fuck. Why are people not doing this? And after watching some of my videos, people are starting to do this. And I'm not the only one, obviously, putting videos out there. But I'm telling you, like, I've seen an increase of Warden healers among my friends. And I know I'm an influence on that. It's just because it makes a lot of sense. Yes, Templar is the meta king healer, you know. And until this Necromancer comes out, who knows? Maybe that'll take its place. I don't think so. Templar is still... I mean, I have a Templar now. I love it. But it's not... I don't have a Templar that heals. I have a Templar that does DPS. Did it heal at one point? Yeah. Did it do a good job? Yes. Anyway, getting off track. Keep on the Warden here. Wardens are great. Great healers. Definitely can do a lot of things that the Templar can't do. Alright, Ally Ward. It's given. It's my only shield. As I wear all my heavy armor, I don't need a whole lot of shields. This is a nice little pop, you know, for that extra security. It's like a blankie for me. Like, I probably don't need it, but I like to have it on me. Makes me feel comfy. Makes me feel warm and cuddly on the inside. Just knowing that I had this little circle around me that says, "Don't worry, Eric, you're protected." And I like that. So, Ally Ward, Healing Springs. This is your main source of healing. Obviously, it's a no-brainer. It's super cheap for me. Like, literally costs nothing after all my passives and my Seducer and Healing Springs itself. It's nice. It's a spammable. I'm laying down the carpet all the time, as I like to say. Hey, I mean, I'm a healer. That's what I'm doing. If I'm spamming Healing Springs, but I'm healing, hey, I'm doing my job. I don't care. You can sit there and pick on me all you want. Is my party dying? No, man. They're not dying because I'm spamming. I'm a heal bot. This is what I do. Mutagen, just a nice little consistent heal. It's nice. It's absolutely a staple for any healer. I don't care who you are, Templar, Nightblade, Sorcerer. Doesn't matter. Necromancer's probably going to be running Mutagen as well. It's too good not to. All right. So currently, as one of my ultis, I am running Lights Champion. This is like a selfish heal, but let me tell you, Dead Healer does you no good because a Dead Healer is no longer healing. This is absolutely like, oh, we got the healer, pop. Oh, fuck, we don't have the healer? And that healer's actually like 10 times stronger than he was before, too. So, fuck. And I like it. It's just amazing. The ulti cost isn't crazy. And you'll see that both my ulti costs are just right there in the sweet spot. Boom. So here's that other ulti, Healing Thicket. Not a surprise, I'm a Warden. It's a nice 90 ultimate. Does some great healing. Burst heal. I have it up all the time. I can't say enough good things about Healing Thicket. Even when I was in PvE, and I do have a Warden healer still in PvE. I know this is my main character, and you guys are used to seeing this one in PvE. I put it back in PvP. It's where it belongs. But Healing Thicket is always going to be one of my main heals. Cleanse, this is very situational. If you're doing a lot of sieging and not a lot of small scale, which lately I've been doing some sieging, Cleanse is a nice little trick to have up your sleeve. Costs a fucking shit ton, but with your Sustain and your Max Magicka, you're going to notice it doesn't hurt you that badly. Budding Seeds is more of a PvE heal, right? And I usually run corrupting seeds, but right now I'm doing a little experiment. Like I said, I've been doing a lot of testing, so this might change. I just really like this heal. I like to put it down on like the ram, and I just like to have it there. Corrupting seeds is a little more like hurt your opponent. This is more like heal the shit out of your team, because you can lay this down, go back to your siege line, heal them up because they're taking anti-siege. By the time you heal them up, you come back, you can lay this down again on your ram, and then you go back and heal your siege line. It's really nice, and I like it. So I left it as the Budding Seed instead of the Corrupting Pollen. Enchanted Growth, no explanation needed here. This is a nice heal, very strong heal. But the part that I really like is down on the bottom. that major endurance, the major intellect. It increases magicka and stamina recovery by 10% for 20 seconds. And that is pretty badass. Not gonna lie. Ice Fortress pretty much is gonna increase my resistance up to like 30k almost. It's ridiculous. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Okay, some of the things you can run that I'm not currently running. In Animal Companion, you could definitely throw on Deep Fissure. It's a nice little AoE. You can lay it down in between heals, and you can give your team a little help with DPS. It's up to you. If you want to do a little extra DPS, by all means, go to town. You're not going to have the highest spell damage, but DPS is DPS. And if it's coming from your healer, they're not expecting that extra DPS. Like I said, you could slam it down on the ground, go through some of your healing, and it'll pop when it's ready to pop. In Green Balance, I think if you're running like a really small group, like 3 or 4, having Live and Trellis on your skill bar is not a bad idea whatsoever. It is a great heal, great heal. So that's something you could be running as well. And then of course we just talked about it. Gripping Shards is a great little way to lock in your opponent so your team can get in their damage very quickly. Permafrost is also a nice ultimate to run if you're running with one of those groups that needs that extra permafrost just as you're ulti dumping. Hey, by all means, give it to them. Again, I talked about how I need to do some sky shard hunting, and that's where this comes into effect. I do have that elemental blockade sitting there, and destructive touch as well when I'm running those 2 staffs. But as you can see, I have to level Destruction Staff, and I need those passives. But these are great skills to have, nonetheless. You could also can run Combat Prayer. It's a nice heal. I don't really like it in PvP, but it's there for you if you need it. So absolutely. And Undaunted, you can definitely run the orbs if you wanted to, or Overflowing Altar, depending. It's up to you. They're both nice to have. I don't think your crown's going to be upset if you do choose to use them. You can use Warhorn, and you can use Reviving Barrier if you wanted to. Great alties. Just depends on your group and on its makeup. So real quick, while we're sitting here, we're going to go over these passives real quick because this is what's changed. Increase your max magicka. Increase your spell resistance. This is nice. I love this. Makes my Warden a nice PvP healer now. And then the Magic of Mastery, here you go. So, sustain for days, guys. The Breton did great in this patch. Great. So, okay, so that's my gears. That's my skills. We're going to go ahead and talk about champion points real quick, and then we'll go over fully buff stats. In your tower, you're going to put 12 in Warlord. And then you're going to put 10 in Bash and Focus. You're going to try to get this up to at least 8% if you can. I'm at CP 600. So all you with 810, you want to focus on these 2 a little bit harder. I have to make sure that I put my skill points where they're absolutely needed. So 50 in Tenacity, 86 in Arcanist, and this is going to come down because my sustain is for days. I really don't need it to be this high. And then Mooncalf, trying to get this up to about 10% as well, because your stam is a little lower. In the Apprentice, I have 100 in Elfborn and 100 in Blessed. Why not? Because I'm a healer. I don't see why you wouldn't want to do that. It's really up to you. A 3 in Staff Expert, this will go up. Ironclad, I have 11. Spell Shield, I have 30. Resistance, I have 62. This is going to go up. And then 50 in Heavy Armor Focus and 50 in Quick Recovery. That's my CP points. Alright, fully buffed. Are we ready? There you go, guys. And that's on my Resto bar. I'll switch here in a second. You can see that I have sustain for days, though. Not going to argue with any of those stats. And then here's my sword and board. Like I said, almost 30k in resistance. Unbelievable. And then once I fix my shoulder piece that's that's not in pen. Once it's in pen, I will be over 3k with the crit resist, which is just gonna make me very, very, very tanky. And that's it, man. That's all I have for you guys. Thanks for checking me out. Thanks for the support, and I hope you guys like this build. As my phone's ringing in the background, sorry about that. Let's just go ahead and mute that. And I hope this helps. All right, guys, I'll see you in the trials. Peace.